I'm expecting a lot from this golf ball simply because of this one line. You just became a better golfer. I didn't even have to practice. I just got some Encore Vero X2 golf balls. Today we're going to give them a review and see if I truly have become a better golfer by using them. We're going to find out who they're for, how much they cost, how they perform against other balls in this category, my opinion on them. And I mean, like I said, I'm expecting a lot because I've just become a better golfer. I didn't even know it. So let's see how these Encore golf balls are going to perform. Right, I've come down to the beautiful Kilmarnock Brassy Golf Club, and I'm going to start off with a little putt here. We're just out on the golf course, just enjoying a little bit of late sunset. I'm going to hit some putts to start off with, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the technology because, like it says, true innovation in there, something that other golf ball brands aren't doing, but is actually going to alter the performance. Let's have a little putt, see what these feel like. Expecting them to feel very much like a Pro V1, a TP5, a Callaway golf ball in that area. So let's have a 5 or 10 minute go on this green and see what we get, see what they're going like. In the hand, you can definitely tell they've got that air of premium about them. They've got that feel. Whether that's the same off the club, who knows? I'm expecting this to go in as well because I've just got better without knowing. Not bad, not bad. Consistent, very consistent. Nice little consistent start there. I have become a better golfer. Drop down. No! Good line, just needed a hit. Yeah, well, that sounded actually pretty nice, and even though it was a miss hit. Four. Super consistent. Thought I'd become a better golfer, just can still underhit them. So I've spent some time hitting some putts down, a few different greens, and like I was expecting, it feels very much like a premium golf ball, your Pro Vs, your TP5s, etc. Feels good quality, good sound off it as well. There is one thing though, you can't quite pick it up there, and you'd probably almost have to hit them yourself to get this. There's this sort of metal feeling about them, which brings me on to the technology aspect of these golf balls. So the technology in the Encore Vero X2, true innovation it's saying here, and that is because they're doing something that no other golf ball manufacturer are doing. And that is because they have a combination of an oversized core and a dense metal infused mantle layer. So 4-piece golf ball, we've got the core, we've got 2 layers, then we get to the urethane cover. So the mantle layer, the one after the core, has got this metal infusion in it, and whether because I've read that, but I'm starting to maybe feel that a little bit when I was putting. I was getting the sort of feel of a little bit of, not clickiness per se, but felt like there was just something a little bit different there than your standard premium golf ball. What they're saying this is doing as well, because of this oversized core and this metal infused mantle layer, they're able to make the ball more stable so there isn't as much side spin. So it's saying that you're going to hit more fairways Thus, when you're actually playing from the fairway, you're going to get greater control with your wedges and your irons when hitting into there. So I'm going to put that to a little bit of a test. So I've got 75 yards up to the flag. I'm going to hit these pitches in and just see how the ball's reacting. Do we get that stopping of the ball on the green? Is it releasing? What does it feel like? What's the flight like? Because I think, again, this is an area when you're testing a premium golf ball, you want to see that reliability, and as well, does it chew up after just hitting a few wedges? So let's hit a few in here. One bounce, looked pretty grabby pretty quickly. Did definitely have that sort of metal sort of sound. I think it's more sound that it comes from, not the feel, but it was okay. Oh, I've pushed it right. Stopped pretty quick though. Definitely got that, you know, that a good golf ball has. A one bounce and stop feel to it. I'm quietly impressed by these golf balls. I'm quietly impressed. Hit the stick. Oof, that was close. A little bit skinny, but still had a little bit of grab on it. We are pitched onto a slight downslope as well, so it's getting that initial little bite and then coming up to a pretty quick stop. That felt good. It's dancing. It is Ted dancing. Let's go and have a look up at the green. Okay, up at the green, and some pitch marks around here from where they are. They look about 6 or 7 feet, which, to be fair, when we're pitching onto a little bit of downslope and you're only hitting a 75-yard pitch in, for them to be grapping that quickly is quite a positive. They felt nice. I definitely think that sort of metaliness that I'm getting is from the sound more than it is the feel. It just sounds a little bit firmer. I'll tell you what it sounds like when Callaway put, was it graphene into a golf ball? They had a different sound to what you would normally get from your premium golf balls, and I relate it back to that. But short game wise, they're feeling good off the putter, they're feeling good with that wedge. We need to have a look at who these golf balls are actually aimed at. Then we need to see how it's going to perform against Pro V1 with my driver, against my Stat-Tider Pro V, and also want to just test it a little bit more thoroughly in the studio to see how it goes. So who are these balls aimed at? Well, the box tells us that it's actually aimed at a player who's got that higher swing speed, looking at 110 miles per hour or more with the driver, and going up to that tour player. Now, I don't know whether they do actually have any players playing them at the moment on tour, but it's going to be for that player who has control of their golf swing, who wants that precise yardage when they're hitting their irons in, who wants to know when they're around the greens that they're going to be spinning, they're going to be checking, and when they've got that driver, they know what the flight is going to be off them. In terms of price wise, we're seeing that they're actually coming in at $50, so that's about £40, so a little less than the other premium offerings that we see. But I think that's where from this style of ball, it's hard to break through, because Pro V1's been everyone's mind for so long now, and even if you do go a little bit under, unless it's drastically under, like we see something like the Kirkland golf ball, we don't see many players switching to them. So I think that's maybe where they come maybe a little bit unstuck with these. So we're going to test out the theory of being a straighter golf ball because of this metal infused mantle. We've come to the 15th hole. I've got 6 golf balls. It's a pretty straightaway hole here, so just going to knock it down, see how many times we can get it on the fairway. For like a success rate, I would say 4 out of 6 maybe. And also just having a quick comparison or a quick view to what it's like against my numbers with a Pro V1. 289 is my normal carry with a 167 ball speed. Are we seeing that this is getting up there, or is it, you know, longer? Because I did get better at golf. Yeah, didn't even have to practice. So aim straight down the middle, and let's see how we go. Well, to be fair, that is laser straight down the middle. 294 carry with a 160 ball speed. That is good. I think that might pitch on top of the other one. That's ridiculous. Didn't quite feel like I got through that as much, but 296, 162, and it's right down there. That's about 5 yards left of those. That's another fairway. That one was a bit of a sloppy strike there. Felt a bit toey. Felt like it dipped a bit, and to be fair, 285, 158. That was more me. Oh, that's my first bad one. That's more me. That's a necky one. But you know what? It's not moved that much. Still a good carry. Spun up a little bit more because it was out of the neck, but more my fault for missing the fairway with that one. And that is back near the other ones. Beautiful little draw. Bombing down there. Does say it has a penetrating flight, and I'm noticing with those they're not massively up in the air. The spin is generally a little bit lower, hovering round about 1.6, so it's pretty true to its word. We've got 4 out of 6 on the fairway, so that's a winner. That is a winner. Let's see if we can get 5 out of 6. We can. It's right by the left 2. Beautiful, consistent, very similar numbers there. So with driver, it's a tick because longer, around about 290 average, and we're seeing that the ball speed is in the similar sort of area, in the low 160s, but the spin's low, averaging about 1,500. Not seeing that the ball's up in the air curving all over the place. It is very, very straight, to be fair, so you know, for what it claims on that box in terms of what we're seeing with the driver, we've got to give it a tick there. So there's the one that was more my fault, just out of the neck, just off the fairway. And then as we look up here, we've got one just across there on the fairway, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we've nearly drove up onto the top plateau of the green here, which from back there, that's 310 up to the top, and in cold conditions, I'm pretty happy with that. And like it said, playing from the fairway. Big tick on the straightness and the ability to hit the fairway. Definitely a little bit on the low side with spin would be my early reaction with the wedge. See, with this 6-iron, I'll probably see it being a little bit longer, that wedge. It's a little bit on the shy side there, I thought. I have to move that green because that was a heeled strike and it's just flown the green. So I've hit some more shots there just after testing them in my simulator, and it was interesting to see that the numbers that I was seeing with the driver, where we saw longer distances and lower spin, we saw a sort of similar trend in the irons. With the 6-iron, I would expect somewhere around 6,500 RPMs of spin. We are seeing that it is coming in a little bit lower than that, but the carry number is quite high, considering they weren't my best strikes over the 20 shots that I hit with the 6-iron. It was averaging around that 190 mark, and like I say, for a low spin, not the best of strikes, that's pretty decent. Into the pitching wedge, again, that was dropping off a little bit in terms of spin. I would expect to see round about 9,000 revs of spin, as where it was in that 7,000 category. Now, this would be potentially good for someone who is spinning the golf ball too much, who maybe has that really fast swing speed and they're looking to try and keep their iron spin down. If you're someone who's got a little bit of a slower swing speed, you might not benefit from this because you might not get the control, you might lack a little bit of distance, and then when you're hitting into the green, you might not have generated enough spin to get the stopping power you want. So that is one thing to bear in note after seeing a little bit more data on those golf balls. So my final thoughts on the Encore golf ball, the Vero X2. It said that I'd become a better golfer just by actually getting these golf balls. I think that's a little bit hard to clarify, really. I do think, you know, the driver was going a little bit longer with that lesser spin, so that's one category where I would have got better. Then for me, like I say, the iron spin was a little bit of an issue. I would have wanted to see a little bit more, but if you are that player who's looking for a slightly less, this is going to tick the box there. Short game feel was pretty decent. My only other thought around the golf ball itself, we know it's ticking a lot of boxes, it's performing in a lot of categories, is that how long will they actually stay around in the market? Because I think with a lot of people now trying to challenge the Pro V1 or the Titleist as the premium golf ball, there's got to be a lot of change in people's minds for them to do that. They come in at $50, which is less than the Pro V1, so that might get people over into the Vero X2, but Pro V1 still got that thoroughbred, that pedigree, people know it, people talk about it, and I do think that still has a lot of sway on what people are playing. Now, it'll be interesting to see if this does stick around, because I do think they've made a pretty decent golf ball there, and to carry on doing what they're doing, who knows, it might be one of the big names in golf balls in the future, but overall, a pretty decent golf ball, probably aimed at that golfer who's got the faster swing speed and maybe looking to save a few bucks, but still wants to keep a little bit of premium when they're buying the golf balls. Guys, hope you've enjoyed it. Hit the comments down below if there's any other balls that you want to try, and we'll see you in another one very soon.